These Hollywood stars are some of the greats from the Golden Age era, but don't be fooled. A lot of them had dark and unpleasant sides they conveniently hid from the public eye. Sadly, this gave them some nasty reputations that stand side by side with their immense contributions to the industry. Lana Turner. She was born Julia Jean Turner on February 8, 1921, in Wallace, Idaho, and Lana embodied the quintessential Hollywood starlet, known for her stunning beauty and captivating screen presence. However, her personal life, fraught with scandal and tragedy, often overshadowed her cinematic achievements. Turner's entry into Hollywood was nothing short of a fairy tale. Discovered at the age of 16 while sipping a soda at a Hollywood soda fountain, she was quickly signed by Warner Brothers. Her breakthrough came with the film They Won't Forget, 1937, which showcased her talent and allure. Throughout the 1940s and 1950s, Turner became one of MGM's most bankable stars, with notable performances in films like The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, and Peyton Place, 1957, for which she received an Academy Award nomination. Despite her professional success, Turner's off-screen life was marred by a series of scandals and personal tragedies that kept her in the public eye for all the wrong reasons. Her romantic relationships were a significant source of controversy. Turner was married 8 times to 7 different men, each relationship marked by drama and public scrutiny. Her tumultuous love life contributed to her bad girl image, making headlines with every new affair and breakup. The most infamous scandal of Turner's life was the murder of her lover, Johnny Stompanato, in 1958. Stompanato, a mobster with ties to the Los Angeles underworld, was killed by Turner's teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, in what was ruled as a justifiable homicide. Crane claimed she acted in defense of her mother during a violent argument. The sensational trial and media frenzy that followed painted Turner as a tragic figure ensnared in a web of violence and scandal. Turner's numerous affairs also added to her notorious reputation. She was linked romantically with many high-profile men, including actors, musicians, and businessmen. These relationships were often turbulent and highly publicized, reinforcing her image as a glamorous but troubled star. Her affair with actor Tyrone Power, while both were married to others, was particularly scandalous and captured the imagination of the tabloid press. Turner's personal tragedies did not end with her romantic entanglements. She faced several health issues, including bouts of alcoholism and an addiction to prescription drugs. Her struggles with substance abuse further complicated her life and career, leading to professional setbacks and personal anguish. In the midst of these scandals, Turner continued to work, delivering memorable performances that reminded audiences of her talent and resilience. Films like Imitation of Life, 1959, highlighted her ability to portray complex, emotionally charged characters, drawing on her own life experiences. Gloria Swanson. Gloria was born Gloria May Josephine Swanson on March 27, 1899, in Chicago, Illinois, and seemed destined for the spotlight. Raised in a military family that moved frequently, Swanson's early life was marked by a sense of adventure and constant change. Her entry into the world of entertainment came almost by accident when she visited a movie studio in Chicago at the age of 15. Enchanted by the nascent film industry, Swanson quickly found herself in front of the camera, starting with minor roles in silent films. Swanson's career took off when she signed with Paramount Pictures in 1919. Her beauty, charm, and talent quickly made her one of the most popular actresses of the silent film era. She starred in a series of successful films, including Male and Female, 1919, Why Change Your Wife, 1920, and Beyond the Rocks, 1922, often playing sophisticated and glamorous women. By the 1920s, Swanson had become a symbol of Hollywood glamour, commanding a salary of $20,000 a week and living a life of opulence and extravagance. However, Swanson's ascent to stardom was accompanied by a reputation for being demanding and self-centered. Her insistence on control over her films and her diva-like behavior on set earned her the label of a prima donna. Swanson was known for her meticulous attention to detail and her desire to have a say in every aspect of her films. She often clashed with directors and producers over creative decisions, insisting on having things her way. This insistence on control was seen as both a testament to her commitment to quality and a sign of her demanding nature. During the production of Queen Kelly, 1929, directed by Erich von Stroheim, Swanson's demands and disagreements with von Stroheim over the film's direction led to significant delays and budget overruns. The film eventually went unfinished and was a financial disaster, contributing to Swanson's difficult reputation. Her off-screen behavior also contributed to her prima donna image. She was known for her lavish lifestyle and penchant for luxury, which often set her apart from her peers. Her demands for special treatment and her aloof demeanor were frequently noted by those who worked with her. Swanson's demands for elaborate costumes and sets were legendary. For the film The Love of Sunya, 1927, she insisted on wearing a pearl-studded gown that cost a fortune to make. Such extravagances were part of her larger-than-life persona, but also reinforced her reputation as a self-centered star. Swanson's extravagant lifestyle extended beyond her professional life. Her financial mismanagement and lavish spending were often criticized and led to significant financial troubles throughout her career. Her love for luxury knew no bounds. She lived in a grand mansion, threw extravagant parties, and surrounded herself with the finest things money could buy. This lifestyle, while glamorous, was unsustainable and led to financial difficulties. Swanson's penchant for luxury led her to invest heavily in opulent homes, jewelry, and high fashion. Her Beverly Hills mansion, complete with a ballroom and swimming pool, was a testament to her love of opulence. Despite her high earnings, Swanson struggled with financial management. Her investments in various business ventures, including a failed attempt to produce her own films, drained her resources. Her spending often outpaced her income, leading to significant debt. Swanson's attempt to produce and star in her own films through her production company, Gloria Productions, was a financial disaster. The failure of Queen Kelly and other projects left her deeply in debt, forcing her to declare bankruptcy in the 1930s. Despite these challenges, Swanson continued to work in Hollywood, though her star had faded by the 1940s. Her career saw a remarkable resurgence with her iconic role as Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard, 1950. The role, which mirrored her own journey from stardom to obscurity, earned her critical acclaim and revitalized her career. Marlene Dietrich. Marie Magdalene Dietrich was born on December 27, 1901, in Berlin, Germany. She was a woman of enigmatic charm and unparalleled allure. Her career in Hollywood began in the late 1920s and quickly flourished, making her one of the most iconic figures of the Golden Age cinema. Her fascinating personality was not just limited to her on-screen persona, her off-screen life as well, marked by a reputation for being cold and calculating. Dietrich's journey to stardom started in the cabarets and theaters of Weimar Berlin, where her distinctive voice and androgynous style caught the attention of filmmaker Josef von Sternberg. He cast her in The Blue Angel, 1930, a role that would propel her to international fame. Dietrich followed von Sternberg to Hollywood, where she starred in a series of films that cemented her status as a screen legend, including Morocco, 1930, Shanghai Express, 1932, and Desire, 1936. Despite her professional success, Dietrich's personal life was riddled with controversy. She was often seen as cold and calculating, a reputation that was partly a result of her manipulative tendencies. Dietrich was known to manipulate people and situations to her advantage, using her charm and intelligence to maintain her position in the fiercely competitive world of Hollywood. Her manipulative nature was evident in her professional relationships. Dietrich's collaborations with Josef von Sternberg, for example, were marked by her ability to assert control over her image and career. She meticulously crafted her public persona, ensuring that she remained a subject of fascination and admiration. Her relationships with powerful figures in the film industry also demonstrated her ability to navigate and influence the dynamics of Hollywood to her benefit. In addition to her manipulative tendencies, Dietrich's numerous affairs were a significant source of scandal. Her sexual openness was considered provocative and shocking for the time, as she defied conventional norms and embraced her desires with unapologetic boldness. Dietrich's affairs were not limited to men. She was known to have relationships with both men and women, further challenging the societal norms of her era. Dietrich's affairs with high-profile figures such as actor John Gilbert, French actor Jean Gabin, and American writer Erich Maria Remarque were well publicized and added to her scandalous reputation. Her relationships often overlapped, and she maintained a sense of mystery about her private life that kept the public intrigued. Her openness about her bisexuality was particularly controversial in an era when such matters were rarely discussed openly. Her sexual liberation and numerous affairs contributed to her image as a rebellious and unconventional figure. While this added to her allure, it also fueled perceptions of her as a calculating and cold individual who used her relationships for personal gain. Dietrich's ability to captivate and manipulate those around her, combined with her disregard for traditional moral standards, cemented her reputation as a complex and often controversial figure. Marlene Dietrich's life and career were a blend of calculated brilliance and unapologetic boldness. Her reputation for being cold and calculating was shaped by her manipulative tendencies and her numerous affairs, which challenged the social norms of her time. Despite, or perhaps because of these qualities, she remains one of the most enduring icons of Hollywood's golden age. Joan Crawford. Born Lucille Fay LeSueur on March 23, 1904, in San Antonio, Texas, she is remembered as one of the most iconic actresses of Hollywood's golden age. With a career spanning over 5 decades, she captivated audiences with her performances in films such as Grand Hotel, 1932, The Women, 1939, and Mildred Pierce, 1945, for which she won an Academy Award for Best Actress. However, beneath the glamour and success lay a darker, more controversial legacy, particularly surrounding her tumultuous relationship with her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford. Joan Crawford's personal life has been the subject of much scrutiny and speculation, often overshadowing her professional achievements. Her reputation for being evil is primarily rooted in the allegations of abuse and manipulation made by her daughter, Christina. These allegations were brought to light in Christina's memoir, Mommy Dearest, published in 1978, a year after Joan's death. The book painted a harrowing picture of Joan as a cruel, abusive, and emotionally volatile mother, a stark contrast to her public persona. One of the most shocking aspects of Joan Crawford's alleged mistreatment of Christina was her attempt to cut her daughter out of her will. Joan adopted Christina in 1940, hoping to create a picture-perfect family to bolster her image as a caring and loving mother. However, their relationship was fraught with conflict and animosity, which only intensified as Christina grew older. Joan's disinheritance of Christina became a significant point of contention after Joan's death in 1977. The contents of Joan's will revealed that she had deliberately excluded Christina and her adopted son, Christopher, from any inheritance. The will stated, "It is my intention to make no provision herein for my son Christopher or my daughter Christina for reasons which are well known to them." This exclusion was a final act of estrangement, cementing the perception of Joan as a vindictive and controlling figure. The attempt to cut Christina out of the will can be seen as a culmination of their long-standing, tumultuous relationship. According to Christina, Joan's actions were driven by jealousy, control, and a desire to maintain a spotless public image. Christina's memoir recounts numerous instances of physical and emotional abuse, suggesting that Joan's decision to disinherit her was yet another way to exert control and inflict emotional pain. Christina's memoir, Mommy Dearest, and its subsequent film adaptation further solidified Joan Crawford's reputation as an evil figure in Hollywood lore. The book's vivid descriptions of Joan's erratic and abusive behavior shocked the public and led to a reassessment of her personality. Scenes depicting Joan's violent outbursts, such as the infamous No Wire Hangers incident, became a representation of her alleged cruelty. Bing Crosby. Born Harry Lillis Crosby Jr. on May 3, 1903 in Tacoma, Washington, Crosby was a towering figure in 20th century entertainment, renowned for his smooth voice, charismatic persona, and enduring influence in music and film. Emerging during Hollywood's golden age, Crosby's career spanned decades, leaving an indelible mark on both popular culture and the industry itself. Crosby's ascent to fame began with his distinctive baritone voice, which propelled him to become one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. Hits like White Christmas and Swinging on a Star cemented his place as a musical icon, while his film roles in beloved classics such as Going My Way, 1944, and The Bells of St. Mary's, 1945, showcased his versatile talent on screen. Behind the scenes, however, Crosby's personal life was marked by tumult, particularly in his relationships with his children from his first marriage to Dixie Lee. The couple had 4 sons: Gary, twins Philip and Dennis, and Lindsay. While Crosby projected a wholesome and affable image to the public, his parenting style was reportedly strict and, as later revealed, often abusive. Gary Crosby's memoir, Going My Own Way, published in 1983, provided a candid and harrowing account of life within the Crosby household. Gary detailed how his father disciplined his sons with physical punishment, including beatings with a belt. This harsh treatment left deep emotional scars on the Crosby children, shaping their relationships with their father and each other for years to come. The impact of Crosby's parenting became tragically evident in the lives of 2 of his sons. Dennis Crosby, struggling with personal demons, died in 1991 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Lindsay Crosby, haunted by his family's reputation and facing his own challenges, died in 1989 under circumstances that suggested suicide. These deaths underscored the profound and lasting effects of Crosby's troubled and evil parenting style. Bette Davis. Bette Davis, born Ruth Elizabeth Davis on April 5, 1908 in Lowell, Massachusetts, is celebrated as one of the most formidable actresses of Hollywood's golden age. Renowned for her unparalleled talent and intense performances on screen, Davis's off-screen persona was equally powerful and complex. Davis was notorious for her strong-willed personality and fierce independence, traits that often put her at odds with studio executives and directors. Throughout her career, she clashed with Hollywood's hierarchy, asserting her creative vision and refusing to compromise on her principles. Her insistence on controlling her career path and roles sometimes led to confrontations and disagreements that became legendary in Hollywood lore. One example of Davis's combative nature was her infamous feud with Joan Crawford during the filming of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962. The rivalry between the 2 actresses, stemming from personal and professional differences, intensified on set and added a palpable tension to their performances. Their animosity was well documented and became a focal point of media attention at the time. Davis's relationships with co-stars were often colored by her assertiveness and willingness to challenge others. She was known for her strong opinions and high expectations, which could create friction during production. Her desire to fully embody her characters sometimes required pushing boundaries and demanding excellence from herself and those around her. Despite any conflicts behind the scenes, Davis's commitment to her craft was unwavering. Her performances in iconic films such as All About Eve, 1950, where she played the sharp-tongued Margot Channing, and Jezebel, 1938, which earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress, showcased her ability to portray complex, multidimensional women who defied conventions. Errol Flynn. Born on June 20, 1909 in Tasmania, Australia, Flynn became a Hollywood icon during the golden age of cinema. Known for his charismatic screen presence and swashbuckling roles in films like Captain Blood, 1935, and The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, Flynn projected an image of daring adventure and charm that captivated audiences worldwide. However, behind the silver screen, Flynn's personal life was marked by controversies and scandals that earned him a reputation for being morally questionable or evil. One of the primary reasons for Flynn's controversial reputation was his involvement in legal troubles, particularly allegations of statutory rape. In 1942, Flynn was accused of statutory rape by 2 teenage girls, leading to a highly publicized trial that tarnished his image. Despite being acquitted due to lack of evidence, the accusations cast a shadow over his career and raised questions about his conduct with women off-screen. Flynn's personal life was also characterized by a hedonistic lifestyle. He was known for his excessive drinking, womanizing, and indulgence in various vices, which contributed to his image as a Hollywood playboy. His parties were legendary for their extravagance, and he had numerous affairs with actresses, socialites, and other women, which fueled gossip and controversy throughout his career. Barbara Stanwick. Born in Brooklyn, New York as Ruby Catherine Stevens on July 16, 1907, Barbara lived a life filled with drive and determination. Orphaned at a young age, she was raised in foster homes and by an elder sister. These early hardships forged a character that would become synonymous with strength and independence in Hollywood. Stanwick's journey to stardom began in the nightclubs and theaters of New York, where she worked as a chorus girl. Her big break came in 1927 with the Broadway play Burlesque, a role that caught the attention of Hollywood scouts. By the late 1920s, she had moved to Hollywood and made her film debut in Broadway Nights. As the film industry transitioned from silent films to talkies, Stanwick quickly established herself as a leading lady, thanks to her versatility and compelling performances. Despite her success, Stanwick's off-screen reputation was complex. She was known for her professionalism and dedication to her craft, traits that sometimes led to perceptions of her being difficult or cold. Her intense focus on her career often took precedence over personal relationships, creating an aura of ruthlessness. Colleagues frequently described her as demanding and uncompromising, particularly when it came to her work. This relentless drive was evident in films like Stella Dallas, 1937, where her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination. Her commitment to her roles was unwavering, setting high standards for herself and those around her. While this dedication garnered respect, it also created tensions with co-stars and directors who found her formidable presence challenging.